everyone, just a short video today. What I'm going to do is just show some PSP Pickups that I've recently purchased, all from CEX. What I normally do is I have a few CEX stores locally. I use the app. Every now and again what I'll do is I'll search for PSP because it's one of my favourite consoles to collect for, and I'll pick my local store and just filter it, see what they have. Now, one of my local stores generally is had on average about 20 to 30 titles in there. I checked literally about a week ago and it had jumped up to about 100 all of a sudden. So I was thinking, somebody's literally gone in with a whole collection potentially, or the store has been sent more stock from CEX headquarters. I'm not too sure really, but yeah, a lot of these games were racing games. So I think they've come from one collection. I think a racing game fan has just offloaded the entire collection. So when I walked in the store, I had a mini list of things that I wanted to look at. Pretty much got everything on it. There was a few that I didn't, and I'll explain why. So I walked in the store. They'd moved the PSP game section because it needed its own sort of rack now. Before, it had like a small area that PSP and Vita. Sadly, the Vita section is still tiny, but the PSP section had grown. And yeah, all the games that I wanted to look at were there, which was fantastic. So I'll just talk you through them. I'll mention some of the games I didn't get as well and why I didn't pick them up. But I'll start off with this one. This is one I haven't seen before. It's Mac, and it was £4. So kind of around €4 to €5. Same for dollars, I think. So not a massively expensive game. One of the things that I really liked about this was, I don't know if you can see it quite on the camera, is it's quite reflective in terms of the cover. They've obviously put some effects on this. Not quite hologram, but nice shiny sort of printed cover. It plays, not that it plays, it sounds like it's a racing game but with jets. One of the reviews I read of it was saying it was like a cross between Mario Kart and Air Combat. And yeah, I hadn't seen it. It was in good condition. Every one of these games has the manual. So again, what leads me to believe maybe this is all from one collection that's been well looked after. So that was one of the more expensive games. So that's Mac, or Modified Air Combat Heroes. So looking forward to playing that. And I might do some videos soon as well, playing through some of these games just to see how they are really. Another one, cheap pick. I mean, none of these were really expensive pickups, but SBK 07. So this is Superbike World Championship 07. This was £1. I wasn't even aware of a Superbike game on the PSP. Now that I've said that, I'll probably find out there was lots. But of all the racing games that you normally see, it's normally cars. So the first two that I've kind of shown here are cars are jets and motorcycles rather than usual cars. So this one for £1, again, another one I hadn't seen before, in good condition. I don't know if I would have found this cheaper. I do find at the minute, and this is May 2024, just for reference, if anyone finds this video years down the line, but I do find that CEX, particularly in the UK, is very good on PSP prices. I know some people moan about other consoles that they cost a lot more, and that sometimes the games, you can go and buy them new elsewhere if you look around for the same price. I find with PSP, they're very reasonable, and I think there's some bargains there as well. I don't know if that will change. Hopefully it won't, but maybe in time it will. But yeah, compared to the likes of, looking on Vinted, looking on eBay, when you bring into account postage, not many of these games are cheaper there. So they obviously have to be in stock at your local CEX, or if you're happy to pay the postage, if it's still cheaper. But yeah, if you see the games, there's something that I look at and think I like, I'll buy it, because yeah, it might not be there the next time. And if we're talking £1 or £2, or some of these are 50p, yeah, just grab it while you can if you've got the money in your pocket. So, right, on to the next two. So Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer 2. So these were £4 each. So this was kind of a case of, I didn't want to buy one and not buy the other. I haven't actually played Ridge Racer on the PSP, so I'm not sure, if it's as good as, how I remember it on the PlayStation. And after that, the early days of it, when it was really mind-blowing how good it was at the time. But, looking at them and then looking at some reviews afterwards, these look to be good, solid races. So yeah, these weren't originally on my list. They were kind of tentative One of the games I was looking at getting was there was Arctic Storm, and there was also Sonic Free Riders. Or was it Sonic Riders? I can't remember. There's a Sonic game anyway, which is more of a racing game on the PSP. They were two that I wanted to pick up. The reason I didn't pick them up, and this might sound pedantic, was they were in the PSP Essentials artwork. Now, I know to some people, they're not too fussed about that. It doesn't matter. It's more about playing the game. For me, I do kind of like, your PSPs, everything lines up. Even though you generally get a mix of black or white, or some slight colour coming through on the spine of the cases. The PSP Essentials are just like a frame around it. There's some other colour. I'm not a big fan of them. I know in terms of things like the PS3 Essentials with the red covers, they seem to have exploded. There's so many people collecting for them now. You used to see them everywhere, and they can generally go because, people are clamouring to get them. Yeah, I'm not fussed. It's kind of like buying games in platinum covers. If you've got everything else and you really want to be a completist, I can understand it. And if there's a game you really just want to play fast and it's only in that cover and you really don't care, then it's not a problem. But trying to put a mini collection together here, I'm thinking, I'm going to try and stick to the standard covers where I can. So, I went for Ridge Racer over those two other games. I would still like to pick up the other two games, definitely, but it's finding them, in the right covers. So they'll fit in. Pedantic, I know. Next one was one, again, I just bought this on an off chance, £2.50, Street Riders. The reviews on this aren't fantastic. It's probably like a middle-of-the-road average game. But it does seem quite interesting. So it's urban street racing and furious firefights collide as you crush your rivals in fierce weapon-based combat. So, interesting premise. So I'll give that a go. Quite interested to see how that one works out. But, again, not in too bad condition. Not as good as the others. A few marks there. But, it comes with the manual as well. So it's kind of got some nice bits, some nice features. Next one, Burnout Dominator. This is one I've been looking for a while. I used to play this and Burnout Legends at one of my friends' houses. Go around with the intention of watching like football or rugby, and I generally sit on his PSP playing one of the Burnout games. Absolutely loved them. So this was a little bit more pricey at £6, but one that I don't already have. So really wanted to pick this one up. It's one of those. There's arguments over which Burnout game's best on the PSP. To me, they're still really good. They're of that time. I used to love the PS2 versions of this as well. So, that's one I really wanted to get that I didn't have. As we move down to sort of slightly different games, two that probably back in the day I wouldn't have been as interested in terms of racing games. I'd have probably preferred like a Burnout game. But TOCA and F1 Grand Prix, especially the F1 game will be completely out of date. I'm trying to look at it. So this is the 2005 FIA World Championship. So, there's probably only one or two drivers, if any, from that time still racing. So it's not relevant or up to date. But that should be fun. I haven't played an F1 game on the PSP. So again, probably more of a series simulator rather than Burnout where you can crash into everything. This will be kind of, you hit the wall, you're out of the race. So, that'll be interesting to play. And TOCA as well. I remember TOCA, from the PlayStation 1, that sort of era, people were really getting into that. It's like these sort of the style of racing. This looks like it's opened up. It's not just necessarily touring cars. There's lots of, just reading it, 15 types of motorsport in one game. It's got super trucks as well, street racing classics. So it's kind of a spin on how I remember the original TOCAs. Again, not a game that I've seen before. I've seen F1 a few times, but this one I hadn't. So just grabbed it while it was there. And again, as I said, it was in good condition. So maybe I could have shopped around, got it a bit cheaper. Maybe not. But I just thought it's there. It's in good condition. I'll take that risk and buy it now and see if it's good. Right, last racing game of the pile, because I did pick up 3 different games. So Test Drive Unlimited. So this is £5. This is one I have played before. Really good game, kind of set in Hawaii. Stacks of cars. So it's a 65 plus, the most exclusive cars on the planet. So go back to the mid 2000s and all the the who's who of good cars are on this. So that just for the open world side of it, I remember playing that, really enjoying it. So I'm hoping the memories live up to playing it now. But yeah, I think that for the money is probably about, in a good place. I think you could shop around and probably get it elsewhere. But as I've said with a few others, it was there in the shop. Probably buying a few, I had a pile, so I added it to it. Went a bit overboard, but it's in good condition with the manual, so I could walk home knowing that it was, as I would want it to be. And then the last 3 games, let's have a look at these. And again, some of these picked up price-wise and something that they're just fun to play. So Madden 06. So like the F1 game, this isn't going to be up to date. There's a few team changes since then. There'll be no Vegas in this. Lots of roster changes. But for £1, I know I'll get more than £1's worth of entertainment out of that. And it's just a good one to pick up every now and again. So yeah, the Madden games, generally like them on any console. So yeah, that was something I did want to get. Next one, a little bit random. So this is Football Manager Handheld 2009. So I'll be honest, in terms of Football Manager games, I'm not really too interested in them. I have some friends who would lose months, years of their lives playing the new Championship Manager games when they came out, or Football Manager. They would sit there, and to me it just seemed like a screen full of numbers that you just tinker with or move things about. But they really loved it. So I thought, again, 50p in good condition. Just looking at some of these, if you needed new cases, this sounds sacrilege maybe to some people, but some of these games, some of the things that they have, like the UMDs they have in CEX for like 50p, that the cases are really good condition. If you need a good case for another game, I've done it before, just buy one for 50p and then literally swap my game out with it. The game that I've just bought for 50p, I'll probably give it to charity or give it to a friend. Might sound odd, but that's something I've done. But yeah, that one for 50p, I do actually want to give that a go. I'll sit down, maybe give it an hour or two, see how I get on. Who knows, maybe I'll enjoy that one. So yeah, but for the money, again, it might be there one week, it's not the next. So I thought I'd grab that. And the last one, a bit more expensive, so it's not a 50p game, but one I haven't seen before. So Brunswick Pro Bowling for £3. Big fan of bowling. I'm really interested to know how this will play on a PSP. I'm used to playing bowling on like the Wii, the Switch, where you've got motion controls. That's my experience of bowling games over the last sort of 5-10 years. Always fun with that handheld controller, but on a handheld, I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but decent reviews for it. So again, one that I'll look forward to just trying out, seeing how it is. So yeah, some interesting pickups there. Feel free, leave in the comments if you think there's anything in there that I should have avoided, or if there's anything in there that you think, no, that brings back memories, I love that game. Also, any recommendations. So if there's any games you see in here and think, if you want a racing game, this is what you need to look at. These are the games you need to play. These are the best games. Feel free to do that, because I think that's great. I love getting recommendations for games. And likewise, anyone watching who might be interested in these games, it's good to see the recommendations, because you don't always see the game you necessarily want in the shops, with this being a now obsolete console. So it's good to have a little list of things that you can look to buy and look out for. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm hoping to do this again soon as well, and often pick up PSP games. And again, it's generally just checking my local CEX stores on the app, seeing what is in, and then next time I'm passing by, I'll pop in and have a look. So yeah, hopefully there'll be more videos soon, and maybe some playthroughs as well and reviews of those games. So hope you've enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.